Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening as the one and only Southside, the legend that is Albert, and the president of Rangers Radio, the one and only Bridgeman. Evening, gentlemen. Let's say that loosely.
Evening, Ox. Good to be on with Albert and Bridge, the legend, and your good self, and good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Evening, Albert.
Hi, evening, guys. How are you all doing?
All right, mate. All right. How's the bridge?
Oh, good evening to everybody. Oxchair, Southside, and Albert, and of course the techie boys in the background. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, keep the chins up. Keep it going for the Rangers because they need us. Keep it going.
Certainly do that, mate. Right, we'll talk about my festive before we talk about the football. What do you make of that Fox getting his own Swiss Army knives? What's that all about, Albert?
he's not showing any favouritism. We're all the same, mate. We're getting the same present.
There's every bit of hatred among for everyone is, I tell you.
You know what they say to me, Southside? You never know when you need to take a stone out of a horse's hoof.
He'll heat the knife up and all.
Oh dear. The corkscrew could come in handy for you.
Aye. Well, come in handy many a time for many a thing.
Aye.
No just opening bowls.
Conscious are fucking twisted.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I slipped that in there.
Oh, listen, Bridget, thanks for the call. Don't be
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, Albert, I'll let you
get my coat. I'll get my coat.
Wait a minute, we better send that one to VAR. So, Albert.
He's taught me. Hey, he's taught my kind of language. I'm in for it. I'm right up for it, mate.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. Enough about the jollities. Right. Okay. Well, the two games, mere questions and answers for me. The pressure mounts on the manager. It's a results-driven business away from home. We're not getting results. We're not scoring goals. No doing to the manager. We're missing some gilt-edge opportunities. We're defending hopeless. Our recruitment's getting showed up. Some players just can't cut the level and the expectations of your club. But listen, we'll start with Southside. Albert, Bridge can come in, and then we'll get the phone lines opened there quickly because people might have a lot to say. So Southside, just give your thoughts. I don't know how you want to do it, but we take the one game or we take the two games together, whatever you think, Nick.
St Mirren game after we came out of the stadium, I just felt like we'd been mugged that day. To be honest, first half we were pretty dreadful as in attempts at goal and that. It wasn't good enough. Tempo was wrong. I don't know what it is with the players because they got there and the instruction is to go obviously and go on the front foot and show a tempo. And for some reason, these players, whoever it is in the 11, some fail to do that in a lot of your games lately. So that happened in the first half, and then obviously get the act together in the second half. And then, apart from obviously Butland's moment of madness, so I was trying to think back there, St Mirren game. But the one time they come up the park against us, Butland is a mad moment. I don't know, the minute I seen him coming rushing out, I think, no, please don't, stop, do something, just stop. And he'd already gave away the penalty, you know. And in fact, he's not very good at saving them. Doesn't help either. But I thought in the second half we battered St Mirren that day, got the equaliser, couldn't get that killer goal, and then they got the park and kill the game off. In fairness, it was a fair strike for the boy at the edge of the box, but it shouldn't have got that far. And it just felt like we came out of the ground, and I thought they certainly didn't feel to me anyway that St Mirren deserved to win that game that day.
No, I
I'd have been still annoyed at getting a point, but I think that's all they deserved out of the game, considering they got a helping hand for your goalkeeper to start with.
Aye, awesome. We have to mention the goalkeeper, Albert, but you give your thoughts, and I'm sure we'll discuss the goal as the night goes on, mate.
Oh, the St Mirren game, schoolboy defending, mate. It's madness. The keeper's just lost the plot, completely lost the plot. I don't know what he's up to. That's what you can say about him. That's what happened. He just runs out, crashes into the guy, and then all of a sudden it's a penalty. You're saying it, and you can't say it wasn't a penalty. It was a penalty. There's no doubt about that, mate. And he was lucky to stay on the park, because I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. In fact, I don't know what many of the rules are. They change that often now, daily. It seems as well. But I thought he was lucky to stay on the park. Stupid decision, mate. I don't know what he's thinking about. It's supposed to be a class keeper. He didn't show that at all, mate. Absolutely didn't show that at all. So it's 1-0 down, and now it's all to do. You know, these teams, when they get one in front, it's hard enough at nothing each with the way these teams set up. But when they've got that early goal, you know it's going to be really difficult. So then we didn't end in the first half. We kept the tempo low, the slow passing between centre halves. You always know, I've said it before, you always know when Rangers are going to play at a slow tempo with the speed of the passes between the centre halves, let alone the pass itself. It's very, very slow. And then the thing about it is, during the half, it's hard to raise the tempo because you've not got a captain that can do it. You're not idiot at right back. He's sitting there with his thumb up his trumpet as usual. So it's hopeless to try and drive them on. You've nobody to drive the team on and tell them to get the tempo up and running. So as far as I'm concerned, it's what it always takes to you get inside and the manager starts getting into you and then changes.
Why should it take 45 minutes, mate? Why should it not be done before the start of the game, mate? Why?
Well, you don't know if it's no. You know, you think for a minute the manager tells them to go and play at that pace.
I hope no, mate.
He's no telling you because he's telling you.
What's a manager's job then? Set the team up, do the shape, pick the 11, have the substitutes, and have you motivated before the game. Would that be fair?
Aye.
Well, so should you have to wait till half time? Is somebody failing in their job?
Wait a minute. You just can't say that and then say, why are we waiting half time? We're waiting half time because the team's not following instructions. The teams are stopped. They've stopped. The players have stopped, mate. You got to put a lot of this blame on these players. The players stopped pressing, for a better term, but they're no doing what they're supposed to do. We've seen them doing it right, and they look a different team. But when you play that slow way, the point I was trying to make, when you're playing that slow way, it's hard to lift the game, lift the tempo up. You need somebody to drive you to lift this tempo. And there's nobody there to do it. They're all just stonning and it carries on and carries on. So it gets to half time, then he goes mental again with them.
And brings one of our best player in the last 2 months on. Aye. But we'll come to that. I'm sure we'll come to that, Albert. I think you'll have quite a bit to say on that one.
Yeah, I go for it.
Get your brown paper bag already, is it?
No. I'm fine, mate.
Right, okay.
I'm going to say other things, but know that.
Aye, okay. Aye. I don't disagree with some of the stuff you said there. Right, on you go, Bridge, and you come with your Tuppinsworth.
That's all about it as well. Tuppinsworth. I think it was. I'm so upset by 2 games and 2 first halves of the games. I was really disappointed. And you know, Albert was saying there, when you look as if you're playing, we look as if we're playing, then all of a sudden the clangers drop, you know, and your left full back's up the pitch and can't get back. Not that he could get back in the first place, but he's even got a harder job to do. And where Tab is halfway through the game, halfway through the first half, I don't know. But when Tab goes forward, you can see he has got quality. His difficulty at the moment is getting the feel of the pitch and crossing the ball in respectively with that. He took 3 corners and a free kick, and the ball never got 3 feet off the ground. So obviously Tab's got a problem not getting the ball over in certain instances. But seriously, can I just say that both of those teams that we played 3-5-2 against us and played it very, very well. And you could see their midfield pulling back all 5 of them. So you ended up with 8 men in defence within a few seconds, and they just moved up the park. They never did a great deal of actual attacking and shooting, but they're nice footballers. Some of these guys can hold the ball, which is a thing that we don't seem to be able to do until the manager's given them into trouble, and they come out and they can run at 50 mile an hour with the ball and great passes close to the players. I'm afraid that it's a serious letdown. The back 4 is a defensive unit. It's not there. It's not there.
Well, I've praised Jeff Doan here. I've been fair in my praise for him. I didn't think he had a great game at St Mirren. I thought actually when Ridvan came on, he was even maybe worse, but he'd only come on for the last few minutes. And I thought Ridvan started the game quite well. Was one of our better players up for about an hour plus yesterday. And then I think he showed that he's not played a lot of football. He died. I thought he should have been substituted personally. But listen, the St Mirren one, Southside, I mean, it wasn't great in the first half, but Barjami, Cherny, Hadji, none of them were getting involved much. You know, I think a man was trying things, wasn't coming off. It was frustrating, but there wasn't a great service. Barron and Diamandi just didn't click. Barron, who we've been full of praise for, looks as if he's maybe void a wee bit of confidence, mate, if that's fair. He still gives you that energy, but his forward passing wasn't magnificent. He's not played a lot of football in the last maybe 6 or 7 weeks, if I'm being honest, Southside. But the goal we lost, mate, the goalkeeper, it's just, all right, Jeffrey's maybe played him on by a fraction, but do you think the goal should have come out, mate? And you come?
No, not at all. We're behind the goal. We've seen them rushing out. I was thinking, don't do this. Don't try and get this ball. Too late. No. His decision at that point, Celtic goal. There's no doubt about it. Celtic goal. Mm-hmm. I thought, I just felt like it was a mugging in the way out the ground. That's what it felt like. And it was the first time they beat us in about 13 years or something there. In a league game or something. So it wasn't good enough. It's not what you expect. You expect to go there and get the result. But the team in the first half, as you said, Bajrami didn't have a really much a good game at the start of that.
It was stinking, mate. It was stinking.
Aye, and at half time, you're certainly going to make changes here, because you could take it off anyone. You could have pick a 4 or 5 of them, no bother, and I don't think any of them could have complained. Mm-hmm. And they made the subs, and it had a better effect. And listen, we've seen this for all different managers. Some managers have to wait half time and they get their rollicking and the team come out. We've seen it for Souness, we've seen it with Walter, we've seen it with Gerrard, we've seen it with many a manager. It happens. There was a break when Balogun went down injured, where he had the players across at the side of the touchline, and you could see he was getting a few of them. So it's down to the players to get the tempo up in the game and dictate the game. But we didn't really create against St Mirren in the first half. That was the issue.
No, one shot, I think. One shot.
So second half was an improvement, and then you lose a stupid goal late on in the game that just kills you stone dead. And that's where we are. That's where it was against St Mirren, mate, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And the selection, Albert, right? I'll go to you with this one, mate. You know, when I seen the team and he swapped Barron for Raskin, I maybe get it and I don't get it, you know. And are we being old-fashioned, play your best team?
Well, aye, in modern football, aye, obviously, because too many games. That's as simple as that. There's just too many games. But anyway, where we are, our squad's a squad. But swapping Raskin, he told you he's on one booking, and if he gets booked there, he'll miss the Celtic game. And that's what he was worrying about. He wanted them available for the Celtic. That's what he's saying. He wanted them available for them. So you might not agree with it, you might not listen to it, you might not like it, but that's his reason for doing it. It didn't work out. Obviously, it didn't work out because we get beat. But we could have won the game as easily as lost the game the way we did. No, I mean, it's one of the things. I heard all the crap after it. St Mirren deserved that. And no, they didn't. No, they're lucky if they deserved a draw. I think Southside already said that. It's true, mate. Come on, you need to look at it right. We need to do better. We need to put the ball in the net.
Score goals,
chances as well. That's it. Still at this carry on. we need to score goals. We're saying it all season, and we're still going to say it. It's still not putting the ball in the net enough times when we get the chances.
Right, so we'll parts it, man. We'll move on to the one that's fresh in everybody's mind, Bridge. Yeah?
Absolutely. Go for it.
So yesterday, mate, give us your thoughts.
Well, I think it was I thought we played a lot better overall in the 90. Overall in 90 minutes, a lot better than we did against St Mirren. But we're with the same problems. Very, very weak in defence. Very, very weak in defence. And it's how can we say it? It's by the way, their second goal was a really well taken goal by the guy. He absolutely bamboozled Tavernier to get the ball in the net. The first goal was just a mix-up with a couple of players, and they got in and put the ball in the net. It was not two good goals. The second one was a bit better than the first one, but I did think our defence were woeful at both goals, absolutely woeful. However, I can't say that the guys that put them in the net, they can't do any better than what they've done. They've put them in the net, and we're not even anywhere near it. But we do tend to, and I've said this for a long, many a year, we tend to make the opposition's goalkeeper player of the year. They look absolutely fabulous in goals. They make great saves. They stop everything. Their defence, the ball bounces off the defence, the goalkeeper covers it up. All of that was going on for both the games at the weekend. But on Sunday, well, what can I say? So disappointing. I couldn't believe we were 2-0 down. I just couldn't believe we were 2-0 down. But when you reflect back, we're no surprised that we're 2-0 down, really, because we're just stinking at the back. Just second half, a lot better. And the midfield were cracking. They were going in there at pace, and we must have tried, I don't know, we must have got about 15 to 16 shots in the second half alone, and a lot of them on target. Just scored two great goals and just couldn't get the third.
No, it's up for debate about the obviously the VAR decisions yesterday, but listen, before anybody's really get comfortable in their seats, we should have scored. Dessers has got to score for me, Southside.
No, he's got to. Any half-decent striker probably does score that. And Danilo, with a header and all. That could be you 2-0 up in the game straight away. But it was a great ball in for Ridvan. And you'd expect your striker to score. He managed to get his foot on it, or his knee, or his shin, or whatever it was that hit, but it wasn't good enough. We were up the other end, obviously, for that end when the ball came in, but I was expecting it when it came in. I think, right, surely he gets this shot off here. It's going to be a goal, but unfortunately for us, it wasn't. And Danilo had a good chance. Also, Cortez had a chance.
I said to you yesterday, earlier on, mate, before the show, that I'm not seeing it back to watch it. See the Danilo one, it looks awful. I'm not sure if the defender just touches it and moves it because he's set himself up for it, but I need to see it back again, mate. Yeah, because it maybe looks worse than it actually is because the defender's just got a touch on it. But I might be wrong. If the defender's not touched it, it's so absolutely abysmal. And you're right, the Cortez one, I don't know what he's thinking about, mate, yeah?
I mean, I've seen him. He's usually too fitted, Cortez. I know he's just back and all that, but I was hoping he'd at least hit the target. He went with his right foot and probably should have went with his left. But aye, they were three good chances in the first half that we had. They went up the park 3 times in the first half and came away with 2 goals. I agree with Bridge. I think if one of your players had done what the Motherwell player done for the second goal, I thought it was a good bit of skill. I know your defender should be set up better, and Tav should probably try to put a tackle on or block, but I thought the wee bit of skill the boy showed was really good.
Another thing, mate, like if you watch that back again, right? If you watch it back again, the two central defenders, the first goal and the second goal, Big Sterling, who I've championed on here, playing in the right centre back position, which I don't think he is, mate. He heads it down, mate, to the danger area. Which you have a tendency to do. If he heads it out for a corner, puts it back in spacing, mate, anything but where he heats it. Anybody running on's got a free strike at goal. Yeah, it's just mental, man. Mental defending. And that's the second goal. we'll come to Albert with the first goal, Southside, after you finish.
Yeah, nothing proper. Could probably headed it to the side out for a throw in, but he's trying to header it. I believe he was in close proximity. Everybody in the stand behind us all thought it hit his arm. Seen it's hit his arm. Whether it's a bit close, obviously it felt like a Liverpool player who just dinked it into space, and as he went through, you've got proper and Sterling trying to get back, but I thought our goalkeeper, he sort of came out stopped and then came out again. I thought he was shocking at that goal again. I think you're looking for him to save that. Really,
let's say he should be doing better.
I hope better.
All better. The two goals are centre halves involved with headers. Obviously, you've got the one with it definitely hit the boy's horn. There's no debating that. Would you have been surprised if that had been chopped off?
Aye, for us, definitely. Not for other people, but for us, aye, definitely. I mean, if they gave that as a foul for us, you'd have had to pick me off the ground. I don't know what the rule is with that as well. I thought it was if you get an advantage for a handball, even though your hands into your side, it's a foul. But apparently that's not the case anyway. Anyway, he gives it. It's Clancy, isn't it? So he gives it, and the header is proper. I mean, there's bad defending and there's bad defending. What we're up to now is absolutely disgraceful, mate. We've just simply not got a defence. We've got a right back playing at right half, centre half, who's no comfortable in there, and we'll get a right-sided centre half playing left side who isn't comfortable either. He's a panic. He panics all the time, and then you've got a right back who's just done, mate. He's finished, and he has been for about, I'd say, now 2 years. So you've got this. So you haven't got a defence, and you've got a midget at left back. And you've got a goalkeeper that one of your Stevie's all saying can't keep Wayne's out of close. Absolutely hopeless. He's turning into hopeless, mate. He's not turning into bad. He's turning into hopeless, Butland. And we'll talk about it as the game goes on, but absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful goalkeeper, mate.
Aye. So when I look back at it, when I looked last night, Bridget, the first goal, the centre half's got to clear the ball. Yeah, with his header when he comes in, he does it. Shouldn't hit the defender. He's basically got a free header. After that, it gets worse. It's broke. We're not aware of it. Sterling, who's meant to be quick, he should be there and make sure there. And the goalie caught in no man's land makes it easy for the guy just to stick it in. Doesn't have to do a lot, Bridge. You know?
No,
so there's 3 errors in there.
Can I just say that, as I said to you earlier there, our defence isn't great, not terribly good at all. But your centre halves, and everybody knows this because they've played football. Every single person that's ever played football and watched a centre half, when the ball's in the area and if he can get his head to the ball, it'll go 10, 15, 20 yards up the way, out the way. Or if he's closer to the shy line, he'll put it up, boot it out there or header it out there. Safety, always safety in mind, always. Now, unless you're a really world-class centre half, we don't do that. I noted on Sunday there that I think near every second ball that was headed out from our defence by one of our players, right, went to our opposition player. Every second ball, every time they did a second header, bang, straight to the opposition. It was countless a number of times, and you can't you're not releasing any pressure. You're not easing anything for yourself. We don't seem to be able to head the ball. You were right about Sterling. I think Sterling struggles. Okay, if he's got 5 yards to run in and jump and head the ball, yeah, he can do that. But no, when there's a crowd, you can't. He's not got. They seem to have the strength in the neck to head the ball out like a half decent centre half got. Seriously, I think if we carry on the way we're going, we will get absolutely mollicated for the rest of the season. Every single team will be playing 3-5-2 against us. Every single one of them. And they'll have the speediest guys in their midfield, and they'll have the big, heavy guys up front, and they'll just battle with us all the time.
I can't see proper being the answer for us. I've no fancied them particularly. He's had some decent games outside, but I just don't know if he's ever going to take to the hustle and bustle of Scottish football. He's 31/32, mate. He's not going to get any quicker. He's not a physical centre-half. Yeah, he can play a tremendous cross-dual pass. He's got that in his locker. You know, you've seen him make some decent passes, but he's first and foremost a defender, Southside, and he gives me the fear.
Well, he's sitting having to probably help Sterling and all to a point in there beside him. Him and Suter played no bad for a period of time together. It's been chopped and changed. Aye, granted, he's not got a lot of pace. I'd like to think at his age and that. I said one here I don't think he'll see his full contract. I think he's somebody that would probably look at this year and maybe a bit of next year if we don't get the right replacements in that he might be looking for. But long term, I don't think he had a future. But I just want him to succeed. And he headed the ball. The boy jumped up in close proximity, hit half his arm. Breaks to one of them. He's been caught wanting on a few occasions as well, from time to time. Got himself into a couple of bad situations. I watched him a wee bit the other day because I wanted to, when they come on against St Mirren, because they were banging you off the ball even before the ball got there, and the first off Balogun was getting it and all at times. So I wanted to see how he would cope with it. And a couple of times he got nudged out the road and that, but I thought at times against him he put in a couple of physical challenges and all. Sure, he got caught out, obviously. Raskin and Hingme had to. Well, I'm just hoping he settles down. Ox. He's had 29 games in all competitions. He's been good in some European games and all for us in that period of time that probably people will forget about. But we want him to do well in the league, obviously. That's the most important thing to us. We want him to look all right. I'm hoping he gets a bit more stronger, Ox, and he'll succeed. We need him to. It's the most experience we've got. Sterling doesn't know what he's really doing in there, let's be honest. He'll do a job, right, but he's no there. If he flings in Leon King, it'll be like, well, what's he doing now? The boy's hardly kicked a ball. He's not really a centre-back, Leon. I think we've agreed that. So unless he brings in the big boy for AC Milan, who's a big physical unit but still learning his trade, at some point and give him some game time. What else you meant to do? He's hamstruck. We've got Suter out injured and we've got Balogun out injured. So what is the manager meant to do?
Casemiro as well, remember, mate.
Aye, he's out, obviously. Aye, so he is strapped to him who he can pin. Either goes for the experience with Sterling and hope that he does a job, or he goes in with Leon King, who's not been anywhere near the first team in a long while, or you fling in Enciala, who's predominantly a left-sided player. That's what he's got left with. That's all we've got at the moment.
Aye, but listen, we've been short in that position all season. We all knew all bare that Balogun wasn't going to be able to play, you know, the schedule. Yeah, he was a cover. Obviously, we didn't know that Suter would get injured the way he has done because he'd hit a level of fitness. But you're in Casemiro also, you know, we've been left short in that position, but we were always at least one centre-half short, in my opinion, Albert.
Aye, definitely, mate. There's no doubt about that. We were taking a chance and it's blew up in my face, basically. We knew that at the beginning. We knew, and why, if we actually went in there thinking the big Suter wasn't going to have an injury, I mean, we're living in cuckoo land now. But anyway, so the defending with these defenders is poor, mate. You can't say anything else, but it's just ridiculous. It's not poor, it's ridiculous. You can't, the whole five of them, you're sitting saying, no, you can't do this, mate. And that, St Mirren and Motherwell, they're no good teams. I mean, ain't but good teams, them. No. But we're struggling with them. One big kick up the park and we're struggling. Both games.
It's you just play now. You just go over. You can see them. They just put the ball, just do a proper seat, try to get him turning, or put it up near him and let people compete. He doesn't like it, mate. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think he's cut out for Scottish football. That's just, I hope he gets better and grows into it, but I don't think I think he's too long in the tooth for that, Albert.
You can't teach them the basics of their position at 31, 32, mate. It can't be allowed. I mean, it's no right. You're sitting saying boys for the B team coming through and younger centre halves vying, maybe 2021, you can teach and show them certain things, but not at 30, 31, 32. These players at these ages are like experienced players. They're supposed to be showing the young boys. They're no learning their trade. No, the basics. Everybody can still learn at any age, but know the basics, mate. You should know the basics by now. And he's not got the basics. He's just not got the tools to do it, mate. He's not robust enough.
I'll put it to you this way. I think Ben Davies is a better centre half than him. There you go.
But he suffers from the same problem. Not robust enough, mate. He's a bit.
There was no compliment in there, Albert. I'm just saying.
Davies can read the game better. I'll give you that. He can read the game better than proper. But it's as much as that, mate. As much as. I know you're no serious, but I know.
Bridgeman.
Well, you know that centre half. I don't care what anybody says. Centre half's the most important position in the pitch, and here we are. We've got two very, very weak players, and I mean that now. No disrespect to any of them, and we've been like that all season. We've had a few good games out of Suter, and some no bad games out of Proper, and a mixture of Balogun as well thrown in there. So we sort of lifted us a wee bit. We've got two centre halves that are half decent sometimes, and a reserve, the one that can back them up. No, we've not got that. We've now got as Albert says, we've got a supposed right back playing at centre half and right side, and that's not right. The boy, you can see he's big enough and he'll do you a turn and things like that, but that's not your first pick centre half. It can never be, and it's the same with Proper. I'm afraid I was a big fan of Proper's. I thought, going by what I saw, wee snippets of him, and he looked quite good, and it was all European games I was watching. I saw him and he looked good. I'm sorry, I take it all back. I have to take it all back. I don't see that guy. He's never, ever going to be anywhere near Rangers' quality as a centre half. Never, ever. So all I could say is what I've been praying for, and I've put it in everywhere I go. I say it. Please, Rangers management, read the room and read the game. We don't have a centre half. Get out there, get the checkbook out and go and buy one, and this transfer window coming up, and get it sorted. Get them straight on the park. I don't care who he is. Get them straight on the park. I think they did. Was it a big Italian guy that they're looking at? Going to bring over? They were talking about him. Sorry, I don't know what's happening now. But we need to get somebody. In.
Amaruso might be a bit old, but he could still do it.
But you're absolutely right. You know, you're thinking there, and gee whiz, you know.
You know, but listen, mate. So listen, because doing 2-0 at half time. So you're thinking, what's going on here? And then so the sports science Iggerman appears, Tierney appears, so something doesn't add up for me. We start brightly. We play some decent stuff. We get a good goal. Iggerman scores a double. You're thinking there's only one winner here,
Aye, but how does it not add up? I mean, we had to bring them on. They probably wasn't. They probably weren't coming on in the game if we had done it right. And Dessers and Danilo score in the first half, and we don't lose the stupid 2 goals, and we're winning the game. Tierney and Iggerman might not have come on the park, but we had to bring them on. So
same with Raskin in the previous game.
Well, Raskin obviously he was scared to get them a booking, and then obviously things aren't going too well. And let's be honest, as much as I like Barron, he's got a lot to learn, and he'll probably turn into a good player in time. Last weekend, watching him in that one game, for what I've seen for Raskin, it was like a downgrade in the midfield.
Aye,
so
Raskin,
he had to.
Well,
he's a very experienced player, and now he's got back to total fitness, is what we've seen in the last wee while. You can see that he's a level above Connor Barron at the moment, skill levels, and how he can make sure he can get in about the game and try and get in and control a bit of the game, you know, for the team.
The headers he wins surprises me, mate.
The what?
The headers he wins. I think he wins more headers than the half.
He's slightly at the moment. He's better than Barron at the moment. Barron's got other attributes that he's good at, but he's got to learn still a few things. And at the moment, Raskin's got the jersey in that position, where obviously Barron's not getting it at the moment. So we had to bring on Tierney, we had to bring on Iggerman, because of the way things were going in the game, and we get ourselves back into it to get to 2 each, and we battered them for most. We battered them for most of that second half. I really thought we might have nicked the third one, the way it was going. I thought it was a great finish for Egderman, his second goal. And his first goal came for pressure on them coming off the post, and it was a good finish with his left foot. He certainly drilled it by the goalkeeper, and his second goal was a cracker. So I thought at that point all the momentum was with us, and hopefully we'd have got the goal. So I just look back at it. We've dropped to 5 points, and that's a criminal thing. And we've only played for 45 minutes, basically, in each half. Although the first half, I thought we made chances than we did in the St Mirren game, and if we took them, it would have been a lot easier. Still thought we'd better patches of play against Motherwell than we did against St Mirren in the first half on our play. But second half in both the games, we deserved to probably go away with the points, full points, but we didn't, and that's the thing about it. We dropped the points. The team's just inconsistent. You think you've turned the corner with some of them, and then it's back to. And I think the main thing is we've got to play our best 11, and at the moment we can't because we've got injuries and Suter's out for a start. So we have to try and play our best 11 at all times. We can't really afford to rotate the squad too much because it's shown that we've not got the players to do it.
Well, listen, there's maybe, if you take the St Mirren, Tierney, who's been decent for us, Hadji, who's shown up well, Pajami's not been great, but he's shown he can play because he's played against Spurs in the cup final in decent games, all but the three of them in the first half against St Mirren were dreadful. And you can't really blame the manager for individual performances. You know, whether Hadji's at the start of his bug, I don't know. That you'll never know unless you're really involved, all better. Because obviously they said he had a bug yesterday and that's how he wasn't involved. But well, they weren't great. And we're looking for that position to supply the strikers, you know, and the first half against St Mirren was worse than against Motherwell, but we're 3-0 down if you combine the two halves of football together, the first half, all but, and it's just not good enough, is it?
Oh, it's nowhere near good enough, mate. Absolutely nowhere near it. It's it's not even close to a finished team. It's not even. You could say we're halfway through it's not even a quarter way through this yet. It's still got to be refined. It's got to be improved all over the place. You've still got too many. I don't even think we've got the core of the team right yet. I don't think we've got a core of a team, to be honest with you. At the moment, it will get better. I know people don't believe it, but it will get better. We need transfers in. We need quality players. The players you've got in the news, a lot of them are just not good enough. Let's be honest about it. We're so kidding ourselves on. They're not good enough. But we have got a sprinkling of decent players in that team, and there's no doubt about that. They've proved it. You've got to give St Mirren some sort of credit for that first half as well. I mean, we were too slow, that is a given, but they just outfought us all over apart, mate. Every department, everywhere in that part, we get outfought.
Here's my criticism with the manager, mate. Apart from the selection, mate. We play this system away from home. Look at the stats, mate. Look at the goals we've scored. Look at the performances. It's nearly a year now, mate. Yeah, away from home. We're no winning. We're no scoring enough goals, and we're conceding goals. The shape doesn't work.
You might be right, mate. You might be right. Whether he's going to change it to the shape, whether he's got the players to change the shape, or whether he's even got the players to play the shape he wants to play, this shape. I don't know, mate. But at the end of the day, you've got to look at the players. Some of them are not good enough, mate. It's as simple as that.
Aye. And
you've got players that are missing sitters, mate. Let's be honest about that. That's just one thing. You've got defenders that can't defend. Tavernier, for example, hopeless defender. Always has been, always will be. So you've got to take all that into consideration. That the players are just no good enough, mate. You're still building, mate. That's all I can say. You're still building. We're all looking for the end product right now. It's not happening right now. We knew all for the beginning of the season it wasn't going to happen like this. We can still remain competitive. That's what we're hoping for. Well, we did to a certain point, but now we fell off a cliff again for whatever reason, best known to ourselves. Also, just a wee quick one on why do we get back into a game and then slow down? you've got to take into consideration the black arts that the other teams are playing. Like yesterday, or Motherwell slowed the play down. As soon as we went 2-2, they slowed the play down. You had Muller rolling about injured when he wasn't injured. You had Watt rolling about injured when he wasn't injured. The goalkeeper was lying about. That's the name of the game, mate. And they're playing a cute game. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying you've got to take that into consideration. That's why, and Balogun in the St Mirren game, was it the St Mirren game? He gets injured, so he's slowed the game. He stopped the game as well. So once you take the momentum, once you lose the momentum, it's difficult to back up. But we need to learn to win these games. It's as simple as that. Good teams learn to win games, and that's what we're showing it. We've just no got the skill level or the experience to win these games.
Right, okay. We better get these phone lines opened there. We went on a bit there. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right. Southside. Question for you. I get the red zones and protecting players and all that, but as a game, every league game's 3 points, mate. And what makes us think that we're going to coast against anybody? Because we've hardly done it all season, mate. You take away the 9 goals against Ross County, mate. We've been poor in front of goal. Yeah? So we're not burying teams and getting 2 or 3-0 up. So surely we've got to, where we can, get our best team on the park and try and win the game of football. Don't make it harder for us. There's an argument. No, you'll never know. You could have played their players. They could have got injured. You could have lost 3 goals. You could have lost 4 goals against it. You'll never be able to answer it. But was the selection wrong in both games? Is sports science going to cost Clemonte's job? Thoughts?
It's certainly influencing him when he's having to pick a team. So he's gone with him. He referenced John Suter because he said he used him more than most. He played 2 Scotland games in all, and then he's been out injured. So whether that's a factor or not, I don't know. I'm just used to, you went to watch your team on a Saturday. Well, it used to be Saturdays all the time, but you watch your team at the weekend, and if they won or whatever, they all played decent, then you'd expect them to start the following week unless they get injured. That's the way it used to be. He said he done it for the reasons that he said. Players maybe feel tired or whatever, and sports science is saying there might be an injury coming here. You need to think, because they get monitored through their training sessions and all, with their GPS and all that, the way they look at them. But we'll not train much because of the amount of games we've got. So it could cost you your job in the end. Some managers use it. I just don't know if he should really be taking it as a factor. I would just be trying to play my best team. But if they're saying that he could put him out for a month or 2 down the line, that's the last thing we need. But if it's costing us points anyway, it's a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, we only turned up 45 minutes for both games, and it's cost us 5 points. That's the reality of it. And it's no good enough. And that comes down to how the players start games. It's down to them. They're picked and selected. I think now he's got a bit more of a selection. We've got Danilo, we've got Ignaman now up to speed and could come into the team and starting to show what they believed the talent he had. I think Danilo has to brush up a bit more still and get a bit more involved.
He's got to finish.
Tierney's been a shining light for a wee while with us. He's been playing pretty decent. I'm hoping that Cortez comes back. Bajrami's the one that sort of fell off a cliff a bit. No involved, no getting the goal return. I thought he would maybe get for us. I thought he would be having shots from the edge of the box, like and play and getting a bit more busier. But it might come yet. I can see that he has a good football player, and I'm just hoping that we can get a bit more out of him. So he said, and Hadji come back in and has made a difference in some games and looked a bit more inventive for us and helped assist in goals. But they need to have a consistency, and that's the one thing that they've not got. They're not consistently doing it week in, week out when they should be. We've seen flashes of some good games. I think the wee run we were on, scoring a lot of goals. If you can maybe dig out the team we had, the Kilmarnock team, ups, the Rangers team that played against Kilmarnock, if you can maybe try and dig that out for us, I think that's possibly maybe the strongest team, I think, the starting 11.
But you won the game, Brooks? The game at Ibrox?
Aye, the game at Ibrox, aye. And we've not been able to piece it all together since then. We've changed it and had, for whatever reason, injuries or the sports science. But no, I just think if you play well one week, you should be able to go out and play the next week. And sometimes sports science didn't matter to Tav and Golston at times because they played just about every week. So how can it be all right for them but other players can't? Don't know. Maybe it's Cherny's age, maybe he's got a problem, maybe that we don't know about and they can't play all the time. I don't know. Any of them could be carrying anything. But young boys, you maybe protect for amount of game time all the time because they're getting a lot around their games when you're maybe Yefty and probably Barron, things like that. But at their age, you might try and think, well, can I expose them to all this every week? But their bodies have got to learn to cope with it. When a lot of your team at the moment in that squad, their bodies can't cope with it. That's what we're seeing. They're not coping with it, but they need to learn to cope with it because they've not had this demand put on them at any other club they've been at probably. So they have it here and they have to learn to deal with it, but you have to make sure you're winning and you need to show consistency. So don't know what we do with sports science, so it'll be interesting to see what's made it going forward.
Well, sports science to me, one of the questions that need to be asked for that is, what's success for them? I mean, they're looking at, to my mind, I think success for them is you've got a fully fit squad ready and available for selection, or as close to a fully fit squad as you can get it. That's success to me. What they need to realise is the manager should have all the players available for selection because you need to win games. That's what we're here today, win games. That's what they're here today, help them win games. The way I look at it at the moment, they're doing everything but help them win games. I don't understand what they're about. I really don't. If they're saying, well, we have to stop injuries, we have to make sure, well, it's not working, is it? Because we're still getting injuries, and it's long-term injuries. Now, every team takes injuries. That's a fact. Right? Every team's not taking the injuries we're taking, the length of injuries. So you're sitting saying, right, okay, what is your... I'd love to ask them, what do you think success is in your department? If we're doing a review on you, where would you sit in the success table? Do you think you're a success? Do you think you're helping the team? Do you think you're improving the team? Do you ever... as far as I can see, naughty all that. It's just the manager's telling you, I'm getting advice with my staff that he's got to take the advice for it. And he's got to take the advice because what's the point of having him? He's not going to take the advice. But the advice he's getting doesn't seem to pan out when you actually look at what happened in Sunday there when Cherny, Igaman and Bayrami come on. I mean, they two said, Bayrami and Cherry said they were tired, and Igaman said he was tired. The three of them didn't look tired to me. And you look at Cortez, he starts the game. Okay, he probably wouldn't have started the game if Hadji was fit, but he starts the game. But he can't come on against St Mirren for 20 minutes at the end of the game. He can't come on then. But 3 days later, he can start a game and play, 60 minutes? You say, what is this? I don't understand what they're doing with this. Who's telling lies and who's not telling lies? Who's actually helping the manager and who's not helping the manager? Because there's something going on that doesn't add up, mate. It just doesn't add up. Forget about we need to play our strongest team.
Mate? What about the punters?
What about us? Oh, really?
Yeah, because obviously, I get it. Look, football's a competitive sport. It's a contact sport, and people get knocks and all that. Albeit I understand that, and there'll be times where people aren't fully fit, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but listen, it's a simple game also. If you're not fit enough to play 89 minutes, you shouldn't be on the bench. Because the guy that you're covered could get hurt in the first minute and you need to go on. That makes sense, all bit.
It makes sense, but it doesn't seem to make sense in football. Because it happens all the time. And it's not just this season. Last season, since Kilmarnock come into the club, it's been happening for our club and every other club for ages, mate. That sports science crap is nonsense, mate. It's just gibberish. It's absolutely jobs for the boys. It's just people running about with laptops pretending they know what they're doing. I don't understand none of it. It's just, you're just looking at it and saying, explain it to me then. How do you know that, for example, Suter, you go to rest him, he'll get injured. Then he gets injured. Did they sit in the background and go, told you so? told you he was going to get injured. Are they all happy with that? Is that success to them? When something happens that they said could happen,
But to be
maybe
fair,
happen.
to be fair with the Suter one, I think it was it his groin, wasn't it? Against Spurs, wasn't it?
Who's that?
Yeah. It was his groin against Spurs, wasn't it? It was nobody near him. He turned to make a simple pass and his groin went, yeah. Am I right? No,
Aye.
I think it was his groin, aye.
Aye.
Listen,
He just
if he might not have played 6 games before that, and that could have still happened. There's no rhyme or reason for some things in football, and that's how I think you should try and play your best team as much as you can, because you get a lot of natural injuries, suspensions, loss of form, where people get rotated anyway. Olber and Bridge can chip in.
I know what you're saying. Is there a right way or a wrong way? Put it that way. Is there a right way and a wrong way? Am I wrong and he's right, or am I right and they're wrong, or is there somewhere in between? I don't actually know what they do. I really don't know. If they're supposed to stop injuries, they're not doing it. That's as far as I know, mate.
Aye.
That's as far as my thinking goes.
And they're not getting the shovels to a guy that needs to dig the holes, yeah?
Exactly.
Right, I get it, mate, I get it. Right, I think we've been pretty kind so far. Bridgeman, on you go, mate.
Oh, what can I say again? Once again, what can we say? I've followed everything that Albert said there. I thought was tremendous, really, really good. You pick your team and your people that look after the players as far as fitness and injury is concerned. They're actually taking them out of the squad basically, and saying to them, "You just don't play him, don't play him, don't play him." You could say that about him. I think the questions that Albert said there are correct. Why is that happening, and why? What's their rating? How do they rate it? I don't know whether the Rangers board / management will ever actually be able to explain that to the fans. I just don't see it. I think we're going to always be in the dark on that one. Suffice to say, we'll leave it to the trainers and so on and so forth, and we'll end up like that.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem, Bridge. Here's one of my problems. Go back 18 months. In fact, I think it was the last time Southside got a Super 6 up, that particular day.
That was joyous.
No. Well, you've jumped the gun too quick there, buddy.
It's stuck in my mind, Southside. And I think we went to Kilmarnock, am I correct? That weekend, away to Kilmarnock. First league game of the season. With me, Southside?
Mm-hmm.
Connor Goldston, no pre-season, no games, no pre-season games, no warm-up games, no nothing. Starts in the Rangers first team. Where's sports science then?
Well, the question I would ask is, for that particular question, did we have these people doing the same job?
Or maybe different people, Bridge, but it doesn't add up.
But I don't even know if we had a sports science / department, shall we say, then. But if we did, then they were treating it completely different. Maybe we weren't happy with it.
Different manager.
Exactly, different manager, different. You know, I just sometimes it sounds a bit gobbledygook to me. You know, and
that's my problem with it. It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up, by the way, because they don't want you to add up. That's it. If they keep it nice and mysterious and all that, they're in a job for life, aren't they? They're the only ones that understand it. It's but the manager's standing there, and he's merely a fool standing there listening to them going, "Wait a minute, hold on. How come all the Diddy players are never injured and you're recommending them to come out the player? How come it's all the players that are on form that you recommend to come out the team? You know what I mean? But you never recommend Dowell not to play. You know what I mean? They never recommend that.
I could recommend Dowell.
But you know what I'm saying? It's always the players that are in form and it seems to be benefiting the team that, oh no, they get recommended to come out the team. How's Butland now not been recommended to come out? He's playing like a clown now. How's he not turning and saying, it's time you rest your keeper? No, I mean, there's a chance he might make a save. So law averages, he's got to make a mistake, got to make a save sooner or later. At the end of the day, I don't believe any of it, mate. And I told you before, I think there's fifth columnists in there. I don't trust them. I do not trust them.
Southside, they've got that team you wanted, yeah?
Aye.
Butland, Tav, Suter, Balogun, Jeffrey, Raskin, Hadji, Tierney, Diamondi, Igaman, and Danilo. That was the starting 11. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And after Dessers come on for Igaman after 66, Dowell come on for Tierney after 66, and so did Barjami for Danilo. 74 minutes, Yilmaz and Connor Barron come on for Jeffrey and Raskin. Mate.
That's probably around about your strongest 11. Starting 11.
Two different
You think
centre,
so?
completely, aye. But you can't hang your hat on Balogun, can you? Come on.
No, well, between him, well, it'd be either him or Proper, right? It'd be Suter and Proper probably, or Balogun. Balogun obviously can't play an amount of games, so he would be changing it and putting Proper in there because that's what we've got at the moment. You could probably argue Sterling full time at right back, but that's probably your best starting 11. I would think that we've seen strongest. I think that's. But I don't know if you think differently, but obviously Bajami might feature somewhere. But I think that's the strongest starting 11 we've got.
I think you've got a question for us, mate.
Oh, aye. Billy put on the YouTube. Billy put the question in and saying, how come we're willing to go and get youth from abroad and bring them in and learn them their trade, and we're not prepared to do it with our own youths that are here to learn them their trade and bring them in?
Mate, see if I was a youth and I watched some of the players playing and the level of performances and consistency, you'd be banging that door saying, either get me out of here or why am I on the park? Albert.
Absolutely, mate. 100%. 100%. There's nothing in the first team to keep the young boys out the team if they've got desire and willingness to go and want it. Do the things of the B team that will get you into the first team. All you need is look at the first team. Score goals and defend well. That's it, mate. Simple. There's nothing anywhere difficult than that to get yourself at least a look at that first team, because the first team are not doing these things on a regular basis. So I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But the reason of Billy's question, just to answer Billy's question, the reason that they're going to get these young boys from abroad is because the quality we've got up there, Scottish boys, they're not good enough, mate. It's as simple as that. The talent's not there. It's not good enough. Some of these boys have been up there for 12 and 14 years. So if you can't break your way into get close to the first team,
some of them are the young, Albert. We talk about 16 and 17-year-olds. 21 and 22-year-olds on the young football wise, are they?
No, they should be well into their first team career now, mate. They should be well into it, but they're nowhere near it. We're still talking about building them up. We're still talking about the need to go out and loan. We're still talking about experience. They should have all that by now. Why they don't go to it? Because no team will take them and take a chance on them to take them in loan. You can't put them in. They're no physically ready for it, and that's the thing that really annoys me. I know, like technical players, and you like to see the ability there in these players, but the actual physical state of these players is an absolute disgrace, mate. I don't know what they're doing up there, because I looked at McCausland standing on the sideline with suit on. He doesn't look if he's put a pound, either muscle on or bulk. He just looks the same wee boy it started a year ago, and that's him near enough a year running about the first team. Why is he no?
Better than a year, mate. It's 14, 15.
So why is there? Why can we no physically see his physicality changing? Why can't we see it? I don't see any of it.
But why was he not physically ready playing for the B team? Should you not be ready?
Well, that's to get you ready, and it's supposed to be. That's to get you ready. But again, to come out the under 18s or under 19s, whatever they've got over there, you should be too physically strong for that age group, and you're moving into the B team. But we don't seem to do it. It's just on age, mate. Or you're too old to play for the under 19s. You need to go to the B team now. That seems to be the way it's nothing to do with ability, physicality, nothing. It's a nonsense over there. It's a youth club over there. They're kidding themselves on.
And the people who's making players ready for our first team, they're failing miserably. Anyway, listen, we've reached that time of the evening. That's flew by. I'm sure we'll get better to talk about in the second half of the show, but get yourself a mute because we're going to have a tune.
See them march on, marching on.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I get Billy's point. Southside, the frustrations that is there no options local, maybe cheaper, even in the lower leagues that you think that guy's played 20 games for, I don't know, Falkirk. I know they're doing well in the championship just now. Can we go and get them? Or is there a snobbery in our scouting? Because we bring boys in and they're obviously not ready. You take the Amanda, you can see at times the guy's a decent football player. You watched him yesterday, you don't think that. You watch him against the Mum, you don't think that.
Aye, well, that's always the case in point. You've paid, what, £4.3 million from? And you could turn around and say, well, how did you not give Cole McKinnon as amount of game time as you gave him? Or even that 6 month period where you had him. Why do you know? Well, playing international football. Cole McKinnon was playing international football. I know he changed allegiance to Ivory Coast, I think, Diamonde. But he was seemingly scouted by a lot of clubs and we seemingly got him. We've paid a sort of chunky price for him. But although we've paid that, and he comes with a bit of talent, it's down to us to develop him into a player. It's your job to develop him and make him a better player. It's not just we got him in and you've got talent, son. We've got to nurture that talent and get the best out of him. So that's what we'll do. And when you've paid that sort of money, when he has bad games and not so good games than what you're expecting, or he has a good run of games where he's pretty poor, he might get dropped if you've got cover. But if you haven't, he'll play. But if you stuck a young boy in like McCausland or a Cole McKinnon, the minute they have a bad game, they're the easiest player to take off the park. So it's down to us to develop some of our youth players. I mean, we're saying they're unteachable then. Is that what we're saying? We can't teach them. So it's down to us to find a pathway. They need to be playing regular football, and hopefully because of new structures in place, we'll get some regular game time, we'll get some of them out on loan, or we'll try at some point and give some of them game time, even if it comes to it towards the end of this season. Let them run for the last 20 minutes in a game. Give them a bit of game time. The ones that are promising enough. And just give them it and see if we can grow them into a player. But it's like they'll probably get less judged by the support than a player we're buying in and spent money on, and you just think, nah, he's not cutting the mustard. But we've got a youth academy, and at some point we need to start getting some players into the first team. Otherwise, we're not going to attract players there. Why would you go to Rangers to sit in a B team and never get a chance to go into the first team?
Cut across you. I think we've been joined by John outside. Evening, John.
Evening.
You need to turn the show off in the background, John.
Yep, I've just muted it there.
All right, cheers, mate. The floor's yours.
All right, good evening, lads. I want to talk about Jack Butland.
Oh, carry on.
Don't blame the defence. The goals that he's let in, saved, it's all been scratch. He doesn't even try to save an easy ball. And I want the manager to give Liam Kelly a go. And has Dessers scored more goals than Butland?
All right, yeah. Are we talking about yesterday?
Yep.
All right.
The football science should not be part of a Rangers team setup. That is my talk tonight.
All right, okay, mate. We'll take the Butland one first, mate. Albert.
I agree. I mean, I don't know if Kelly's the answer, but he's definitely Butland's deserved his place in the team for some of the mistakes he's made. They're woeful, mate. They're woeful. The one that really summed it up, and it wasn't a goal that ended up getting chopped off, was the one he let hit the bar on Sunday there and come back out, and the boy Watt put it in the net. But it got deemed offside, rightly so. It was offside. He's letting the ball hit the bar. It's just pathetic, mate. It's amateur goalkeeping at its best. So I would say aye. Butland should come out the team. Definitely. There's no qualms about it at all.
Has he played well this now? No, he's no. Bridgeman?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say he should come out the team as quickly as that. However, it's up to the manager. People see things differently. I think Butland, like any goalkeeper, even the boy Kelly, if he come on, he can maybe have one half-decent game. That defence that we've got is absolutely horrendous. They're not talking to each other. They're not talking to the goalkeeper. They're not doing anything. It's just everything just seems to be a huge chore for them. And they must be the most upset defence and easy to upset defence in the league. We are a sitting duck. Our club, our team are a sitting duck defensively. So if I was a manager playing against the Rangers, we talked about the some of the wee detail. Put the ball up out across the middle because their centre halves are crap. Get it in there. You know, that's exactly what you would do, and they're doing it. Like 3-5-2 against the Rangers, and maybe even 3-6-1. That's what they play, and it's never 3 at the back. It's always much more than that. But you know, when you start off and you get the ball from a goalkeeper, you can be in a 3-5-2 formation and hold the ball quite a long time because it's easy to do. But for God's sake, Rangers, really and truly, you need a goalkeeper to be confident of the people in front of him for a start. But I do agree, the mistakes he's made are sometimes crazy and mental, absolutely mental. For a guy with the reputation he's got, these things to happen to him is just crazy. Just silly football, kiddish football, and my God, you hardly saw that at school. When you're playing for a school, you never saw so many mistakes like that. So the goalkeeper's got to pep his game up a bit, in my opinion. However, if you say to me, bring in Liam Kelly, I don't think there's very many Rangers fans would say, oh, no, because he's not a bad goalkeeper himself.
Southside, what I will say in yesterday's, the first goal of the night was great. The second goal, I don't know if he can do much, but then he dives after the ball's in the net. And the third goal that he lost, I'd be looking for a goal for our team in that situation, I've got to be honest with you. Yeah.
Aye, well, it was an error, I sort of crossed him, I think.
I get that, mate. But
he looked,
what I'm saying is,
you only need to touch a goalkeeper and you can get a free kick for it. You can get a free kick for it. You just touch a goalkeeper, even if you're grabbed before it, like Raskin, and you can get a goal disallowed. You only need to touch a goalkeeper. I look suspect at that. John, you're right. He cost a goal at St Mirren, the first one. The first goal yesterday, I think he should have done a lot better. He came, he stoked, and then he came out. And I thought the way the boy toe poked it, he was slow going down, or else you use your feet and just make sure you block it. His confidence hasn't looked good. We were talking about it coming back for the game, and we were saying he was third choice at Man United. They went to look for a goalkeeper and got that boy that they've got in the now and spent a lot of money on him, and they never even gave him consideration. He was number 2 at Crystal Palace, and I think his only regular run was at Stoke. So, listen, I thought when he first came up, he looked all right, but the more I've watched him, he's cost us a lot of goals. He's been suspect for quite a few, John, in the last wee while, and even last season.
Yeah.
You could probably count up Andy Goram's time at Ibrox, and Butland's lost more goals than he ever did in a jersey, in my opinion. And probably if you flung Alan McGregor in there and all, maybe towards the end of his last season, you shipped a few you wouldn't have expected, but before that, right through, McGregor wasn't to blame for many goals, but he's looked suspect even against him. A couple of goals against him and all, John, he's looked suspect. So his form's off. I think the only reason he'll stay in is because the defence is no Suter and no Balogun. And I think you'll no fling in Kelly for that reason. But should he no be very clever in the next couple of games against them and Hibs, then if we go to Dundee, I would expect him to be dropped, if I'm honest. If he's having any more howlers like he's been having and it costs us anything, I'd certainly be dropping him.
Yeah. John, yesterday, I mean, I gave my point there. Listen, all I'll say is I get the technicalities of why it was a foul, but I would have been looking for a goal at the other end if that was us, mate, if I'm honest. And he actually punched it in the net. He's came me, he's rang on for it. Everything's rang. And he's 6'5", he's goalie, his arms up and he can jump, mate. Just not good enough.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so what So why not give even Kelly a chance? You know,
Well, why? Well, it might come, mate, but
against Celtic, if he's crap, then get rid of him. But give the boy a chance, you know.
Again, the problem I've got with Butland, I think he's got I think it was a 3-year deal, and he'll be one of my big earners. He ain't going anywhere, all there, is he?
No, of our current form, recent form, players with big money is to go by, mate. No, it seems to be they come up with Ibrox and like it quite well. Know what I mean? They don't really want to leave. Know what I mean? They just want to sit with their big money and see out their contracts. It's very strange. They ambition to go and get better contracts somewhere else.
The sports science, John, I'll take that one first. I think there is a place in it to support the players' fitness and to support the first team to perform better. Should it be picking the team? In my opinion, no. All better than Bridgman.
No, I don't believe there's a place for it at all. I just think it's all until they come out and justify it and tell us what it's all about. It's to make us understand what they're doing. Because at the moment, I've not a clue what they're doing, mate. I don't think they've got a clue what they're doing. I think they're getting paid for nonsense, mate. I think it's just mere staff that we don't need. We don't even know how many there is. They make
40
one
of
of
them.
Surprise me. It would not surprise me. One per player, It's no for me. To me, tell me the benefits. I want to know the benefits. What's successful this department? What does it bring to the team, the club? How does it play its part in us going forward and winning football games and winning cups, titles, runs in Europe and all that? How does this all dovetail into the first team? Because it's got to dovetail into the first team, or it's no good at all. It just sits as a carry bunk on the side doing its own thing, just shouting and making a noise and being a nuisance. So definitely want to know what to do. If somebody could come out and explain it, and I'm not meaning if it's very technical or very medical. No, okay, fair enough. We can't. If it's not in layman's terms, we're probably not going to understand it anyway. But at least tell me what you're supposed to do or what success looks like for you. I'd like to know that for a start.
Bridgman, then Southside.
Once again, I find myself agreeing with Albert. Who knows what this new type of system they're running. The big difficulty with the fans is the fans don't understand. They're not getting told all the things. Whether as Albert says, they might never understand them anyway. But it sounds as if that they're actually running the house. That's what they're doing. They're actually running the house. And no, you can't pick him, so that's it. That all these things need to stop. And so far as the fans are concerned, we've got a manager, and the manager's got he picks the players. The difficulty is there's something they're allowed to overrule the manager because of health, and that may be a fact of life we have to live with. But at least tell us what it means in the sense of, well, if they think he's no good or no well, he's got a bad injury or a slight injury, then come out and tell us, and then let's go on with our life. But when we see Rangers, I dare say Rangers must be carrying 8 players injured, top players, 8 top players injured, some of them in long-term injury at the moment, and it's just crazy. Here's an
interesting question about it, if you don't mind me jumping in, Bridge.
Go for it, pal.
When they actually analyse their player and they've run their figures or whatever programs they're running, who do they report to first? Do they tell the player first that, well, if you keep playing, you're going to get injured, or do they tell the manager first? Who do they actually inform first? Because it's important to know that. Exactly. That's the first question I asked earlier on. What's it all about? How do you know these things? But if he tells the player first that, well, if you carry on playing all these minutes, you're going to take an injury and all that. If they're telling the player first, they're getting into the player's head. So the players knew, looking at the manager to see if the manager's going to take care of him and say, oh, well, they've told me I'm going to get injured, so what are you doing about that? Are you going to play me? Have I still to go carry on? Or are they just ignoring it? Is the player just going to say, no, I'm going to take my instruction for the manager? The manager says, I'm playing. So there's all sorts of arguments and conflicts and all sorts in here. I don't understand it, mate. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me. All I see is jobs for the boys. It's just a name. It's just a department materialised out of nowhere. And I don't see any benefit unless they can explain it to me. And I'm totally wrong. I'd like to know the benefits. Sorry, mate. Sorry for jumping in, but it's...
No problem, pal. Carry on.
And you come, Southside, and you come.
I know, it's baffling to a point. I get when players come back for injury, I dare say, we're looking at them and monitoring them and that, so you've got a sports sort of science. We've got a duty of care to look after our players at the same time. But at the same time, it's there, they've got to be ready and fit for work. Listen, we've got a heavy schedule, and obviously the amount of games they're playing, I think probably Ignaman, for the level he was playing at, to bring him out of the country, to get him settled in, the pressure, the demands, and the magnitude of the games and the size of the games we're asking them to play in, I dare say it would not surprise me to take him out. I thought Raskin, as I said before, would come out a game or two because he hadn't been long back for a long-term injury. Flung him into a lot of games. He'd played really well, but at some point he's going to have to come out because in case he picks up an injury or, as it was lately, a suspension was due on the horizon. Jeffty's the same, young boy, just 20 years of age, flung in at the deep end, playing all these games at this magnitude of level, which he hadn't been exposed to before, will take the toll on them. Probably will feel tired at times, maybe mentally tired, for what it takes to play at the club and the size of games that he's playing in. I get it. I get that can happen. Czerny, I'd expect less. Bizrami, I'd expect less, but they played all through the summer in a tournament, then come back to us, we signed them, and then they're getting flung in now to play, which they should be able to handle, I think, but they've played international games as well. When they've been international duty, they've come back and they're playing a heavy schedule with us. So maybe they're not used to it, as they're used to being off in the winter break to them at this time of year. So as much as I can see it, I'm pointing out what I think, but I still think they should be ready week in, week out to be playing for us and be playing better and getting the results. But I can understand that sort of idea. I don't know if you agree, but I can see that that's part of it. And then obviously
Czerny's, the two of them you mentioned, Bijrami and Czerny, right? They've not played every minute, every game for us, have they? Czerny's come off most games, hasn't he?
He's come off sort of in the last wee while. We had sort of the heavy schedule with European games and stuff, but you'd expect that. If you were going, you'd expect after playing a European game that you'd want to take off one of your sort of players that had been playing well and at that time was scoring goals and don't want anything to happen to him, try and keep him a bit fresh. There's times when we had to keep him on. But he has come off here and there,
Aye, it's puzzling.
Yeah, Jeffty's been flung in at the deep end, let's say, since the start.
He wasn't great against St Mirren. I thought the left side of the park was pretty poor against St Mirren. Him and Hadji. And whether Hadji's had the illness kicking in, I don't know, mate. I don't want to be too critical, you know, what I get accused of with my friends, you know. Whenever I go at Hadji, one friend in particular.
He had a fever.
Aye, well, it might have done, mate. I might have done. We'll never know. John, it's a bit baffling. I think the point with the sports sides, I think it's got us all baffled. I think pick your best team. Suspensions, injuries, loss of form. You have natural rotation. You've got a cup tie coming up. And now, ultimately, it's took the bear right out of the balloon for the season. These 5 points we've dropped, mate. So we'll pay the heavy price for it. And the manager might pay the ultimate price.
Yep, I think you will. Thank you for your comments and Happy New Year to all you. Thank you.
Cheers, John. Thanks for calling, mate. Don't be a stranger, mate. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
I don't suppose we can avoid the elephant in the room, Southside. The gaffer. The air might be out the balloon for the season, but the pressure's building up in him, mate. And it's away for him, mate. you're scrambling about and you're saying, have you heard of anything they're kicking about? 2 for this, see if there's 1 for this, and people are going to Lens trying to see people begging and borrowing to watch the Rangers away from home, and it's nearly a year now, mate, and it's dreadful.
Aye. If you go back to if you're counting it back to last season, when went in a good run for about November, I think, to about February, and then the players miss chances, don't put the ball in the net. We've seen it all happening, unfolding in 3 games: Motherwell, Dundee and Ross County. And they blow that, and then Butland fumbles a shot in a cup final, which costs us that and all. And then this season, we start with trying to rebuild a new team, and you've lost the core of your squad and the vast most experience of your squad, a lot of them. But it come that point when we had to rechange, and we've only managed to change them with the players that were brought in, because some of your players that were trying to get the door hung on at the last minute the transfer window, and then they give us a chance to probably breathe and get 1 or 2 others we'd like to have got out the door, probably chose not to go, to help the manager with more funds. There's still, with the squad there's still 5 players there probably draining the best part of 200 grand a week out of squad and no contributing. And that's something that has to get readdressed and get that money funded to the next manager or the manager we've got now. Whatever way it works out, we need to get funds for the next manager or the manager we've got while we're going with him. And the fact that he's there now, it'll be up to them to decide what they're going to do. But I don't see anything changing at the moment. I think he'll be there for the game Thursday. I think you'll see the Hibs game, and I think you'll probably see the Dundee game in the run of games, and I don't see anything changing.
I said before, I said after the Dundee game, and he did turn it around. I thought that this is only going to end one way, and I'll go to you quickly, so said then all Berkham. When if you don't win football games, the pressure just mounts, and it's whether you can. I don't know if we need new eyes or he needs new support. If you back him, mate, and that's a big if. We need a centre half, and the centre half we brought in. If that's the calibre you think's going to cut it, mate, I would be frightened to give him a tenner to spend.
Well, all right, you're picking one player there that you think at the moment and hasn't been totally outstanding in every single game. That I mean, we've always said you could buy 6, 7 players. They don't all work out.
No, I agree.
Right?
I know that.
So I expect Cortez to work out in time. I think once he's back to full fitness, I think he will definitely work out. Diamonde, if I'm honest, I've seen good bits and bad bits, but he has to improve in Scotland. The rest of them that he's brought in, I think will be fine. They'll work. I think Barn in time will be all right. I think once he grows and gets a chance at some point, but he's still learning, he's still young.
Going to grow.
Well, aye, but once he comes in, he's done quite well. He was decent when he first came in, but it's went up a level a bit. The midfield with Raskin coming in.
That Leon pass, mate, he was arguably the best player in that part of the season, if that makes sense, yeah.
But Raskin's come back to midfield, Hadji's come back into the midfield, and Diamonte's, who have been pinning their hopes on, that will stay in the team and go to be the player that they think he was going to be. So, if at the end of that, that's what's up to level on Connor Barron at the moment. And at the moment, he's no in the team.
If you're not in the team, if your opposition's Raskin this now and you're not getting in the team because of Raskin, you can't chap the manager's door, mate, can you? And say, no, because Raskin's been playing really well.
No, and to be honest, it's probably not really down to Clement. It's down to Coppin to make sure that he can go and get his players that fit the profile and the bill of what we need. He knows what we need. We need centre backs, we need midfielders, and we need strikers. That's what we need. And until we can get that, whoever's in charge needs that anyway. So we need to get results. But I'll take my hat off to him in Europe. For as much as the team's no there anywhere near it, it's Dross, it's this, it's that. It's done well in Europe. And we've had some good performances. And we had a wee purple patch there where we played all right, but it's not consistent. We had to keep that going. in the next 2 games where we're expecting it to keep going. It feels we've seen 45 minutes of 2 halves, and it's nowhere near good enough.
I mean,
it's results driven, and eventually, if he doesn't change this round very, very soon, then he'll be at the door, and then it will be done to, well, who do we want now? Who's going to fix it? And we're back to rebuild again, probably.
Maybe, but this it can't go on, mate. I mean, the away from home form, the stubbornness in the system for me, Albert, is something I've went on about for a while. But you just take the results in isolation. One of the games we won was against St Johnstone with an own goal. We weren't great, all right. That was put in a row. But however, I mean, you take away the 3-0 game against Ross County, we've hardly scored a goal away from home, mate.
Aye, that's true. There's no argument. Just back to the proper one first. The proper was a lastminute.com. That was a lastminute.com. He wasn't the first choice. The first choice went to Norris, remember? And I think there was a choice after that as well. But he was merely a panic by saying, we need to get somebody in, So I don't think that was...
We thought he was up and ready. Is that what you think?
Aye. There's the experience there, right? Okay, he's 31, 32. He's the captain of the team he came for. So tick some boxes. He'll do as a stopgap. That's fine. That's smashing. It turns out so far he's no the answer.
He's no govern ready.
No, he's definitely no govern ready.
Well said.
As far as the
you see what I done there,
goes,
Bridge? I thought that was
that was quite good. That was
sorry, Albert, carry on.
Right. As far as the manager goes, it's in normal circumstances. If everything was fair and up above board, he'd probably be sacked by now. But it's no sort of normal circumstances. The debacle that's been happened over the last 3 years has caused us to be in this position. We're now in a position we need to give him time, whether you like it or whether you know, whether we're happy clappers or no happy clappers. It's all this garbage that gets talked. The facts are the facts. We got ourselves into this position by listening to the fans. Let's be honest about it. The fans wanted Van Bronckhorst. They got Van Bronckhorst. Then all of a sudden he takes us to a cup, European final, wins the Scottish Cup. That wasn't good enough because the football was crap. We regret to get him out. We get him out. We regret for Beale to come in. Beale comes in. Yeah, they back him. They gave him a lot of money to spend in players. The majority that he bought weren't good enough. Then we regret to get him out. Then the board decide, all right, we're going to take football advice from football people on it before we sign our next manager, which they did with Clement. Now we're greeting to get him out. So one thing I've learned out of all that, and what the board should have learned as well, and I hope Patrick Stewart takes into consideration, is don't listen to the fans when it comes to pick managers because they've not got a clue what they're talking about, myself included. So let's just get this right.
Get it right. Yeah.
Let's just get it straight.
Listen, mate, this pressure, mate, the away form, the results, the circumstances, mate, we're not getting enough bang for our buck. And you talk about budgets and what we're paying these players against the opposition we're playing. I'm not saying we'll get a divine right to win every game, but if you take that away record, it is criminal, Albert.
It's criminal, but there is mitigating stuff. You just can't just take blank check with that. There was injuries and all that involved at the beginning. Dessers as a forward, and that's the only forward they had for a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the two game in isolation there at the festive period and all that. You can't say they deserved to win the games. It was the defensive blunders that caused the 2 games. It's not the day we forwards. It was the domestic blunders. The forwards could have scored more goals and should have scored more goals, but that never cost us the game. The defeat and the draw. It was all down to the defensive blunders. So it's easy just to say we went a year and we've only won X amount, which is all true. And you can't hide that fact. But the fact of the matter is you need to look into it a bit deeper than that and just don't take wee bits in isolation and just, that's the whole story. It's not the whole story. The guy's trying to build a team. I'll keep going on about this. He's trying to build a squad. He's trying to put value into the club so you get your trading model up and running. You've got to have something to trade to have a trading model, mate. And we never had nothing. We had nothing, mate. 16 players left, and you get practically no money to spend after these 16 players. 800,000 come in for 5 players that were supposed to be, and let's be conservative about it, should at least between 12 and 20 million pounds. We get 800,000 pounds. And he get told, by the way, you're not going to, whatever you sell, that's your transfer budget. That's what you've got to spend. That's what you get told. Well, they get 100,000 to spend. That's basically what you're telling them to spend. Build a team with that. You say 16 players going. Most of your experienced players are going out the door. A lot of injury players are going out the door. Right? Build your team now. What's it today, mate? And by the way, here's a wee add-on. Here's an add-on. We'll not be playing at home for the first half dozen games, including your European tie. It's the guy who's an impossible job, and nobody's cutting him any slack. It's ridiculous. The results are not good enough, mate. If this squad was all built and the team was already going and these results were there, you'd be at the door by now, gone. You'd be away, well gone. But it's no ordinary circumstances, mate. It's extraordinary circumstances working under. And we got ourselves into this. No, Clement, we got ourselves into this by this rinse and repeat with managers over the last 10 years. We can't keep doing this, mate.
I get it, mate, but
there's no bit about it, mate. That's
there is a bit for me, and then Bridge. I'll give you the right to reply, then go to Bridge. The economics kick in, mate. And for all you're right about the support, the guys that will pull the trigger, it'll come down to pounds, shillings, and pence, because it usually does, mate. Yeah.
Oh.
Aye. And if you see a drop off in revenue coming into the club, you might, as I've said before,
such as
people no going to the interest, not going to the shop as often. The gates start falling at home. So you'll not get the same interest in revenue and match days, mate. Yeah, you've got a choice.
The same gates fall off away because it's the way form we're talking about.
I know
the home form is reasonably okay,
but that's the interest drops off because they become dead robbers in league games, and then your revenue falls, and you might have a decision. You might not be afford to get rid of them, but you might not be afford to keep them neither, Robert. Because economics will kick in.
But it's not an argument, mate. It's not an argument. It's not a football argument. And it's a football argument we're
right, I'll give you a football argument on it and on it. That's two groups of players, pretty much two different teams, and you can't set them up to win away games in Scotland. The teams and managers who have got to get pretty much new teams every summer.
Schoolboy defending, mate. What do you want him to do? Do you think he's staged to proper? He did that ball off that guy. Do you think he says to Sterling, just don't clear that, just head it out to that Miller so he can head it back in? Did he say to Tavernier, oh, Tav, you don't get close to that guy. You let that guy trap the ball, flick the ball by it and put it in. Great finish, by the way. Good finish for the boy. Not taking any away for the boy. Excellent finish. Do you think he's told them to do these sort of things?
I hope no.
Oh, proper. You slip over, by the way. There's no pressure on you. You get the ball and don't pass it to Jeffrey or don't pass it back to Butland. Slip over and fall and let the guy get through. Sterling, you dwell on the ball and run across the park, let the guy tackle you, and then let him go up first and get after the ball. Cherny, you run up along with Diamondi and along with, I can't remember who it was. Three of them are around that guy to stop that ball getting into the area. None of them even put a tackle and none of them even try to get the ball off him. You're looking at these situations going, it's poor and utter crap defending. It's caused the last 2-3
attitude, mate.
It might come down to that as well. You know, but you can't just dismiss it all and just say it's all his fault. Everything's his fault. It's just all his fault. Inevitably, it will be his fault.
Aye, because you don't get rid of 20 players, mate. You get rid of one manager. That's the craziness. We've had this conversation about the decorators, haven't we?
Aye, but you're never going to get rid of 20 players. That bit's done now. There's still others dregs still to get put out the club, but the hard bit's done now. You've got rid of the big majority of big earners and the big majority of injured players.
Could a new manager do it quicker?
No, no. How quick do you want to do it?
What's your argument?
Well, the argument, he's done it within a season. He's done this within a season. What is a manager going to do it with half a season? How do you get rid of players, mate? There's only 2 times you get rid of players.
I know that. I've been saying that for a long time. How do you get rid of players who are...
I'm not talking about how you get rid of players as in pounds and shillings. I'm talking about when do you get rid of players. There's only 2 times you get rid of players. The 2 transfer windows. That's it, mate. Either that, you sack them. That's your choices, mate. So he can do it quicker. How can he do it quicker, mate? What's going to make this quicker? Has he got a budget to spend on players on this transfer window coming up? That's coming up in a day's time?
Very little, mate. Very little, I would think.
Very little.
Unless some players go out the door.
But we're all wanting a new manager, and we want a new team. We want this, we want that. How is it going to happen? Team,
mate. But listen,
no.
The manager's making it difficult for himself, mate. Bridgeman, and then Bob George joined us. Bridge.
Actually, I do think the manager is making it difficult for himself, and I've been saying that for a wee while. To be honest with you guys, unless they actually cut it before the new year, and bring a new manager in for the Celtic game, just for saying sake, and give him some money to buy a player or two, that it's not going to happen. It's going to be that manager's going to stay with us, I would suggest, for the rest of the season. And they might be saying, well, let's see what he can do in Europe, as it was brought up a wee bit earlier there, because he's done not too bad in Europe. So let's give them a chance to rebuild the team, and he's got a wee run in Europe. Let's see what happens with the same players, and see if we can get us a wee run there. I think, in all probability, the board's turned around and says we ain't going to win this league, but we need to get to second place. We need to retain second place as we did last year. So if we can retain second place, then that's a wee bit. We'll walk into the Europa League again. That's what we'll. That's the only thing. They're the only targets we've got. Get ourselves into the good positions in the league. And I doubt very much if the team across the city are going to completely collapse. But stranger things will happen, you know.
Of course, we've won 4 games out of 13 away from.
Yeah, that's going to happen. I doubt very much if the team that we've got and the form that the guys get themselves into. That might just be right down to the manager selection. I've said it time and time immemorial. We need to play. Get a section of what's happening here and play your strongest team. Because if you don't play your strongest team, then they're going to sit on the bench and then they're going to watch goals going in, and then you're going to ask them to come out and do miracles. Some of your better players who are sitting there, and they did yesterday. They did. They came out and scored 2 goals completely against their own play, in my opinion, overall the game. But marvellous goals, great play, and could have scored 3 or 4 more with a bit more luck. But you play that bad in the first half, your luck's not there, and things. That's what happens in football. Luck deserts you.
Oh, look, there's sometimes the bouncing the ball's cruel.
That's exactly it. It's all there. It's all there.
Yeah, but
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question of the panel? Was there any? Did you think there was anything a bit iffy with some of the decisions yesterday and Sunday?
Listen, obviously there's 3 controversial ones yesterday.
Yeah.
The first goal, you've got the tackle by the boy Miller, which when you slow it down,
takes the man's feet.
It's got the boy Cortez, and then you've got also, let's also be honest, you've got the Butland own goal. Yeah, so there's 3 decisions there, mate. And for me, I would have chopped the first one off. I thought the second one, it's one of the ones when you see it slowed down, it looks horrendous. Like the Sterling one last season when he gets sent off, I didn't think that was a red card. I'm not sure about yesterday's. I've only seen it during the game when he showed it. I would need to see it back. And the Butland one, if that had been at the other end, I'd have been looking for a goal, Bridgeman. So
yeah, I thought the first one, I thought that was a red card. For me, if that had been a Rangers player that did that tackle, that would have been a red card.
It could have been.
But he came up and he gave him a yellow, and I think the young lad, when he got back to his feet again, breathed a big sigh of relief.
Aye, he did catch him. There's no doubt he caught him. But anyway, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Did you all have a nice Christmas? I hope so. Wasn't a nice festive period in a football sense, but here we are.
You know anybody that wants to buy a Swiss Army knife, Bob J?
A Swiss Army knife? Buy any knife.
Or two.
GiveMeAnyKnife.com. No, my wrists are still intact. I made it through yesterday. I've never understood his last 2 selections. To me, you must always put your best available team on the park if there's points up for grabs. And these are two games that we could have and should have won. In the second half, albeit, aye. But we are where we are, and we just have to take it for where we are to try and do the best we can on Thursday. Let's be fair to the man. He's been lucky with the injury to Suter and the injury to Balogun. Is Balogun out for Thursday? Does anybody know?
Oh, I think it was his hamstring or his groin. If
it's his hamstring or his groin, that's it. They'll know whether
that's what it looked like. The way he was running and bouncing, mate. You might not see
it.
I
was kind of home.
Was his Achilles?
No.
Was it his Achilles that popped? Was it?
Aye.
Well, mate, that's you might not see him in a blue jersey again. No better.
Aye, well, it looked bad to me. It's just that's where he was grabbing it, mate. It's right behind his ankle, just above his ankle. Looked a sore one. But you gave the guy his due. He still carried on and made the tackle, won the ball and kicked it out.
Aye, I know. But we all like Big Leon, but he's never going to be week in, week out. But Southside.
Aye, Suter and Balogun that could come in and rotate me proper. There's a big blow. Like I said, we've already said we've got Sterling trying to fill in as a centre back, and we've got our goalkeeper who's running about just making clangers as he goes along at the moment. So it's not a good fit. It's not the manager's fault that Butland's at it, making the wrong decisions. So he needs to calm down a bit. He needs to get a bit of stability back and help Sterling way proper on Thursday. So that's what we're hoping for. But aye, listen, we know we were short. We know we've got to add players to this squad, and we've got to try and make it better. That's just a natural fact. So the quicker that we can get a couple of signings in the door, or as many as Coppins maybe tried to line up, it's down to him for recruitment, and he's got to start making sure he's got an exit for Matondo, Dow, Lawrence, Dessers, players like that straight away. They're the must ones. Hadji will probably be going. So they're the players that need to be getting exits, and they need to try and find a way to generate us money. Or if no, they need to come straight after the wage bill so we can regenerate it. That's what we've got to do.
How do we rid of Kieran Dowell, mate?
Well, you'd like to think, I don't know. You'd like to think somebody will want them. Listen, all players eventually, somebody will come and get you. That's what normally happens.
You playing at the weekend?
Somebody will come from at some point. If it's just get it off the wage bill, fine. And just let us recoup the money. Because as we said, Tav will need to go on at the end of the season. So there's over 200 grand a week getting shelled out in wages. That's no Clement's fault. That's the previous manager and the board and whoever sanctioned its fault. And we need to, at the moment, he could have been down with that money at the start of the season to help get more players in the door rather than scrambling about at the last minute.
Definitely about 4 first-team players short. You know, but then again, if we signed 4 of them, they may all be injured. But anyway, we'll be joined by Dermarno. He's on here to make a bid for the Swiss Army knife. All right, Dermarno.
Good evening, lads. 4 players short, plus a manager short, I think.
Well,
definitely manager short.
No long the thoughts, Dermarno.
I don't know if one Rangers fan that thought that lineup was going to do anything. Not one. The only person that believed in that lineup was Philip Clement, and the man's deluded. I think he was just throwing things at a wall to see if anything stuck. And we could all see it wasn't going to work.
You told me
it wasn't going to work.
Yesterday's selection.
Aye.
Dessers,
Aye. Unbelievable. You know what I mean? He's lost the plot. He's lost the plot. I think the pressure's got to him because even an amateur manager wouldn't have had that lineup. Just crazy. I don't know, what his ticket, try to get the sack. I don't know. His ball was crashed. I don't know, but he's not up to the job. It's as simple as that after that. 2 really important matches. To try to get us in back in the league, within 6 points, potentially, and he blows it. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree, Dermarno. Albert, right to reply, or right for the defence, whatever you want to call it.
I'm no defender, mate. I'm just pointing out facts. I don't think the guy should be sacked at all. I think he should go his full term. He's got here to do a job. You might not like it. You might not like the results. I don't like the results. I think we're pretty poor. But at the end of the day, we are where we are. You've got to look at our situation in totality and just think and say to yourself, what's the way forward? Let's get the sack the manager, get rid of him. Right, okay. We get rid of him. Who are we bringing in? Whoever it is, it's going to turn into a poison chalice again. He loses maybe 3-4 games. What are they going to say now? You sack him? Does he just keep going like this? Because there is nothing that we can do regarding transfer fees for decent players. We're trying to conjure a team out of nothing here, by the way. That's what we're trying to do. And the results that we're getting is, let's be honest about it, at the present time, it's defensive errors, mate. It's as simple as that. That's what it is. It's defensive blunders. Schoolboy. We've run out of players, basically. We're too.
Sorry, got to disagree with it. The players were there and they picked the wrong team. It shows you
he gave you, but wait a minute. He gave you the reasons why he's picking the team. He already gave you the reasons. He's been told. The players are telling him. Aye, they're telling him one thing. The players are also telling him they're tired. That's what they're saying to him. And he's saying, okay, right, you're tired, okay, I'll rest you. He's looking at Dowell and he's looking at Dessers. At one time, people were screaming to get Dessers in the team. You know what I mean? So he's scoring goals. We keep getting told. So he gets in the team. He puts Dowell, and Dowell's done nothing since he's been at Ibrox. Nothing at all, mate. So he's no choice. Who else? McCausland, that's McCausland's position. So what's McCausland doing? What's he thinking and saying to yourself, if the manager's not impressed with you, Czerny's out the team, you should be walking straight into that team when Czerny's not playing. But he's no. Why no? Not good enough. The manager doesn't think he's good enough to walk on the park.
He had the chance against Dundee, mate, to score 2 goals and make himself.
And totally blew it.
Mate. If he scores the 2 goals, he's involved in the 2 games, isn't he?
That's it. I'm not saying, people think I'm trying to protect the manager and, we should never get rid of the manager. The manager will go. All managers get sacked. That's a fact. Now we're just trying to time it the right time to get rid of the manager when he needs to go. If he starts winning games and you start win the Scottish Cup, close the gap, do really well in Europe, getting to the knockout. Well, we're getting to the knockout stages, but getting to go 2 rounds more in the Europe. Everybody was starting to go like, hey, wait a minute, he's not that bad a manager after all. But the fact of the matter is, we're trying to time this right. You've got to understand that we've got to get the trading model. He's here to get this trading model up and running and get the football department put into some sort of order. And you need assets. You need players worth something to trade. We had nothing, mate. Nothing. Was not a player in the books that anybody wanted to buy, and that was proven. Cantwell and Golston walk out the door for nothing. Absolutely nothing, mate. This is where you are. You've got to. The 2 results we got there were crap. They're garbage. We played garbage in the first half in both games. So we're saying, I don't think we played as that bad against Motherwell in the first half. We opened them up 3 times and missed 3 sitters. But there you go. That's another story, a story within a story. So the manager will get sacked eventually if he keeps going. There's no doubt about that. But me personally, I'm no for sacking. I'm just no, mate.
Kilmarnock, back in, mate.
I think he's gone all right. See, if he plays football, nobody turns around and says to their manager they're tired. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Maybe at 5-a-side, it was a long day at work and you're like, I'm knackered, but actually you get about it. Not at 11-a-sides. You don't turn in professional turn and say to your manager you're tired. That's a, to me, he's lost the dressing room. You know what I mean? I'm not believing it about Hadji as well. Cantwell walked out the door because of false arrogance. I just don't. I've got no confidence or trust in the manager anymore. I think he's too arrogant. The way he sits at a press conference and says, I'm a manager and you're not. You know what I mean? And as I said, that start-up was just a complete shambles. You know what I mean? That he's bottled it.
What upset you? I mean, there was a few things that obviously defensive were short, Kilmarnock. So what would your team have been yesterday? Who's your team?
Couldn't really do anything about the defence, could you? You know what I mean? But the fact that Czerny and Raskin were sitting on the bench, that's just mind blowing.
No, Raskin started yesterday.
So the wee man, the wee attacker, starting Dessers, you know what I mean? And
Dowell played. And
aye, Ingerman should have started. Know what I mean?
so you're
Along
talking
with Chairman.
about the front, the front four. Well, you had Dowell and Cortez, who's no been fit, and then Dessers up top, mate. Yeah, is that your problem? All right.
Yep,
okay.
yep. Capri doing that about to defend. Know what I mean? That's just football. That's luck. But with Balogun getting injured, it's just it's a sad state of affairs with our central defence. I don't even rate Suter either. You know what I mean? But it's a sad day when he's our best central defender.
Right.
Just that.
I think this is only going to end the one way.
The only talking point was, or the two talking points probably for most people, was Dessers and Dill. And if it's true that sports science says no, can they play them? They might pick up an injury, want them for the next couple of games and no out for the next few weeks. If the end of the day two get injured, we're down to the bare bones. It'll no matter whether he's in the job or MD else will struggle to win a game of football. Because the wee man's been a shining light at the moment. So Dill, like I say, if the man had been injured or something, then Dessers would have come in. Nobody would probably have really batted an eye. It was Dill playing. Probably that most people were surprised that I was quite happy Cortez got some game time. Somebody put in the chat earlier what's he done. Well, I think last season when he first came in, he looked all right, scored a couple of goals, can shoot with his bare feet. I think he'll work hard for the team once he's up and running by a level of fitness. I think he'll take defenders on. I think he goes and commits. I don't think he goes, runs down the line, Stokes, checks inside and passes it back too often. I think you'll see him take defenders on and go direct. And I think it was unlucky. Listen, it looked sore when they slowed it all down when I seen it later on. At the time, it looked like he took a sore one with the tackle. But I think Cortez will be a good addition, and I think getting minutes into him, I think you'll see him feature more than you'll know. And I think it's just about making sure he stays fit, but I think he'll contribute. So Dill, for me, and obviously Dessers starting, and he had a great chance. He should have scored. Don Marnock, no, he had a good chance to score. And Danilo's header was pathetic, you know.
I think he'd one before it, where when the ball came in, he should have basically trapped the ball at the edge of the box and they let the ball bounce. Dessers, I think that was a couple of minutes before his miss, and you're going.
No, that was
for me.
That was after his miss, mate.
Was it? So it was only a couple of minutes after it, wasn't it?
His miss was in 90 seconds or something, mate.
Right.
And then he tried to kid on he was injured. And then the one that come through to him, obviously, as soon as he lets it bounce, it was running through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah. You need to try. You need to get your foot on that. Know what I mean? And try to bring it down. But I let it bounce. Know what I mean? Fair letter. And again, as for the sports science, sports science is an opinion, and to me, it's about diet and all that. They're not sitting there having an MRI scan saying, "Oh, you got a potential tear there." Know what I mean? It's just on. As I say, to me, the scientific part is merely the diet and the stretching and stuff like that. I think he's just threw them under a bus, to tell you the truth. I think he's just floundering for answers to blame anybody apart from himself. And he saw that's good. I'll throw that one out there.
It's the DB kilometres are running and on a game, high intensity runs and all that, but it's the amount of running they're doing in a game. I mean, the game's coming so short, space of time. I mean, logic tells you Raskin couldn't play every single game and he just come back after being the best part of 9 months out. He played a lot of heavy games, big games where it took a lot of energy out of him, and he played well in them all. But at some point, he had to come out. Don Marnock, you would think, rather than risking him picking up an injury, but him just coming back after such a long time out, where he might pick up a calf strain or something like that, do you know? He probably needed to a point, but I get it. I would have thought Ignaman would have started and all that. But when I thought Dessers started and I seen Dowell, I thought, was he maybe keeping them fresh, maybe for Thursday, make sure we win the day and then we can keep them a bit fresher. But you had to use them because we had to get them on the park eventually.
I think
he done it out of necessity, he never done it out of choice.
I think Cortez is a great wee player and he will be brilliant once he starts contributing on a regular basis if he doesn't get injured anymore. But throwing him on, to me, goes right against your sports science.
I agree, don't want. I agree. Yeah.
Know what I mean? So
you start again.
Yep. So as I say, I think the sports science is just getting used with Clement.
But what about the good news? Matondo You don't get delighted Matondo's back, Domano.
He's pacey. That's what all we see for a minute. Pacey, probably right coming at the end of a match.
Bear's going to throttle me. Listen, mate, I hope I'm proved wrong and things improve dramatically, but I think this only ends one way, mate. Because results, just the pressure just mounts, and I think it becomes you can't afford to keep somebody because you can't afford to get rid of them, but you can't afford to keep them. I don't see, because you need to win football matches, mate. Quickly, Bob, J.
Aye, a typical catch-22 situation. Anyway, we've got 90 minutes in front of us on Thursday, and there's no more an emotionally charged atmosphere and what this is. I just hope they can come out, get in about that lot and do well, and ultimately beat them. So there's a million questions to be answered. We'll never find it in the last couple of minutes. Have a happy New Year, boys. I'll see you in 2025. As Bridgeman says, come on, the Rangers need us. Cheers now. Cheers,
mate. Domano.
Aye, if we don't come back on tomorrow, all the best for the new year, lads. And aye, we've got a big 90 minutes on Thursday. We need to go out and win that. But regardless, I think the shareholders need to dilute some of their shares and get more millions released and get us a half-decent manager.
Aye. There's nothing really springs to mind, Domano. You know, there's no an obvious candidate, yeah?
I don't know, they're shouting about Muscat, aren't they? I've seen that. And there's a couple of English managers, aren't there? People saying...
I'd be saying Southside.
That's a fit.
And some of them would keep running.
Albert said earlier, we don't want the fans picking the next manager, they'll man up.
Aye. Well, let's state the board's picked the last three managers, I suppose. Not. I mean, they've got it wrong big time, haven't they? So
two of them were the supporters. Pressure by the supporters. Why don't we bring back Gio? Bring back Gio. As Gerard is his assistant.
I definitely take Gerard back as much as he failed after us, didn't he? A few times.
He knocked my wheels and disappeared. That's what he done.
Say that again, Albert. Sorry, I missed that.
He knocked my wheels and disappeared.
A wee bit of stereotype there, was it?
A wee bit, mate. A wee bit.
Listen, Domano, always good to you. All the best for when it comes, mate.
Cheers.
Albert.
Aye, good chat tonight, mate. A lot of points made, a lot of points agreed, disagreed. It's but again, that's what it's all about. We keep getting told with the best show in town. It's all about opinions. So that's what it is, mate. Best show in town.
Yeah. Southside.
Aye, it's good to get back and get a wee chat amongst friends, mate, as always, and talk about the club we all love, the famous Glasgow Rangers. So I thoroughly enjoyed it tonight, doing the show with Albert and your good self, hearing from Domano and John.
And Bridge,
sorry, how can I forget the legend, the Bridge man?
Nobody's got a Swiss Army knife for this one.
Aye, I know. So, aye, Thursday, mate. So, I'm sure Ibrox will be rocking. There'll be no rap mob in it. And hopefully the team will come out. I think it'll be a totally different, there'll be a few changes definitely for the team that started on Sunday. So, hopefully we'll do the business as always. We're at home, so time to try and get that marker laid, mate, and get the win. It's only the second time we've played them at Ibrox since Phil came in.
Aye, it's been strange, mate, the way the fixtures have folded. Just this random computer error.
I was going to say, is it strange, huh?
Aye. Albert, come on, keep up.
I know.
Yes.
It seems to be strange every year.
Bridgeman. I just wanted to ask Albert something there, but... Do you want me to ask you, Albert, before we go?
Go for it, mate. Aye, go.
Do you think that goal would have been chopped off with Clancy yesterday if we'd have beat St Mirren and the league was tighter?
No chance, mate. No chance.
All right, just
Absolutely.
wanted your opinion, mate. Just wanted your opinion.
Here, see, before we
They
go,
went
who
and
is the
they
officials?
went and got Frank. They got Frank out of the park. They say, have a look at this one, Frank. You need to make a decision here.
Was
Who is the
Brisbane gone?
officials? Do you know?
Oh, I've got them, mate. I heard them.
Oh, have you?
I heard them.
This will be interesting. It's going to be Robertson or it's going to be the other one.
McLean was. I thought McLean
Oh,
was.
no, him.
You've got Clancy's the ref, Connor's the linesman.
We're right.
What's up with you?
Who is it?
All
Who's
fair-
refereeing?
all fair and
Right?
above board.
I want to know.
Is Bridgman there? Has he left us?
Don't see
He's
him.
away him. He's away him.
John.
He's catching a bus.
Let me see. I had it, the officials for.
There'll be a couple of belters. It's a certainty, isn't it? It'll be Walsh.
We got
It's going to be Walsh or
referee
Robertson.
Robertson, Ruby
Robertson.
and McLeod on Nick Walsh on VAR
Oof.
and Daniel McFarlane on VAR. Yeah. Never
So
heard
we've
of
got
it.
Walsh in the VAR and Robertson on the park. Not bad.
There you go. There you go. Listen, thanks to John, Kilmarnock, and Bob Jeff for joining us. Thanks to Bridgman, Albert, and Southside for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Rangers on Radio will be back with a pre-match show as we build up to Thursday's match. 3 o'clock kickoff, so we'll be back at 2 o'clock. A pre-match show, back to slowly getting back to normal after the festive. Thanks for listening. All the best for 2025. Hope everybody's a safe and happy, hug Marie, and mind the weather. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School Blue.